into our Friday night get together with Dirt Road Sports and yours truly. This week after last week's absence, hope give folks a little bit of time. Everybody share, if you will, like and share, and so everybody know that we are on tonight. And of course, we have with us the ever popular Quill and the Lloyd. Now, we have a situation where Marvin isn't quite feeling up to par. He is doing better, but he's not going to join us tonight. Hopefully, we'll have him back next Friday night. And guys, I hate to open the show on a sad note, but I feel like we need to do this. You know, we all experience losses in our lives, and one of the biggest celebrities that have ever graced this part of the country. We've been talking about him and his family for a good bit for the last several weeks. My good friend Joseph James, better known as Bob Armstrong, made it out of this world into the world in heaven with his wife Gail, who passed away about a month ago. Last night at around 9:30 or so. Bob had been, of course, fighting cancer. Started with prostate cancer a little over 2 years ago. Spread to other parts of his body, and he had been suffering. He eased on out with family at his side last night, and it's been a pretty long 24 hours almost for me, because I don't think I even closed my eyes till close to 3 o'clock this morning. All of us in that fraternity of wrestling was talking back and forth. But I want to say this, the response that I have gotten from folks on Facebook and messages, phone calls, emails is just unbelievable. And I know a lot of folks say you're crazy when you do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I compare it almost to Elvis passing away, because Bob was so well known, as Queasel has talked about, not only right here in the Dothan area, but a guy started his career at 61. He was on Columbus TV. Then he was on Dothan TV for all those years, Florida TV. You know, from 1961 to 1989, full-time TV, you pretty much become a part of everybody's family. You agree with that, Queasel?
Absolutely, 100%.
I mean, he was one of those bigger than life. And what everybody I want to get out of this conversation tonight is John Johnson from the Dothan Eagle called me earlier today, did an article which I have posted on my Facebook page. You can look at a little bit later on. And he was such good friends to a lot of people. You know, everybody liked playing Bob as the best friend. I told John, I said, you know, if the old saying goes, if you can go through life and at the end of your life have 5 friends you can really count on, you are a rich man. Well, Joseph James, a.k.a. Bob Armstrong, might have been richer than Bill Gates when it comes to that. I know he was richer than Bill Gates and some of the other billionaires, because nobody ever said anything bad about him. He was loved by everybody, not only inside the business, but the fans as well. He did a lot for the Kaufman community, he and his family. He did a lot to promote Dothan, Alabama, and every town he worked in, and he enjoyed every minute of it, never walked away from anybody. You know, when you're as big a celebrity as Bob was, it sometimes gets pretty taxing. You know, you can't go anywhere without people, you know, wanting to talk to you, this, that, and the other. He always had time for everybody. And another interview today, somebody asked me, I have any final thoughts? And I said, yeah. I said, Bob was married to the same woman for 60 years. raised 4 sons in the wrestling business that were all married and still are to the same woman they first married. I said, if I have anything against Bob, there's a bunch of us. He failed to read that book to loan us the book or tell us what the secret was to selecting a good wife and making a relationship work, because it's just unprecedented for anything like that to happen. To Brian and his family, to Scott and his family, to Steve and his family, we love you. We're praying for you. We knew it was coming, but it sure is hard to take, not knowing that I can't pick up that phone and any of us can call him anytime we want to, but it's a part of life. It is appointed that the man, the Bible says, wants to die. And then what happens? The judgment. And knowing that Bob was right with the good Lord makes it a whole lot easier to take. I'll turn it over to Floyd B. Lloyd, sir.
That's a good story, man. That's a wonderful thing to have. Friends is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. And as I go out and about in my business and in my occupation throughout the days and throughout the weeks and months and years, I've encountered a lot of good people. I've encountered a lot of friends. I've had some real good close friends, just like you have, Charlie. Some of them passed on now. Some of them died young. Some of them been dead 3 or 4, 5 years, but I still miss them. But friendship is one of the most enduring things that you can have. It's one of the most rewarding things. And friendships is about relationships with one another. And men can have relationships with one another and be friends and enjoy each other and laugh at one another. Being able to laugh at each other and joke with one another is that's one of the secrets of life. If you can joke with people and have a good relationship with them, that if you're on the right pathway. But I made a lot of new friends along the way, a lot of old friends, a lot of old acquaintances. I was in the grocery store today. I go to the grocery store over there, I don't know, probably at least once a day, go in there. We live about a quarter of a mile from the grocery store as the crow flies. Go there to the pick and save and get my buggy and push my buggy around. I got in the door. I had my mask on. I even had my mask up. They didn't get on me. Wear your mask. Wear your mask in the grocery store. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. But I kind of fudge on a little bit. I just put it over my mouth because I get it up over my nose. Can't breathe. Gets my lungs all stopped up. But anyway, I had my mask on. And I recognize folks. I know folks. I know them. I look them in the eye and I know exactly who they are. They said, how you know me? I said, I know your eyes. I know your eyes. I've seen your eyes so many times. I know who you are. Anyway, pushing my buggy and I was over in the fresh fruits and vegetables section over there, like where they had the sweet potatoes and the iced potatoes, squash and bananas and onions and things. I was getting me up a little something for me and Nadine to eat on over the weekend and in the next week. What we like to do is cook on Saturday. See, we kind of got a pact with one another. We cook us a pot full of stuff on Saturday. And then we'll kind of divvy it out to us, during the week. And we get a little scoop of this, a little scoop of that, live on it, on the week. So I was over there getting my stuff, get my buggy all lined up, and I run into one of your old friends, Charlie. He's one of the best men ever have walked this planet. He's from
Who is that, Floyd?
It was Mr. Louis Grimes. Him and Miss Alma Jean Grimes. You remember he used to call in. He'd call in and give a report on the rain and all that kind of stuff. Louis Grimes was in that. He asked me about you. He said, how in the world is Charlie doing? I said, he's doing fine. He said, I listened to y'all on Friday night when y'all on your show. He said, I can't hear real good. I get about half of it. And I told him, I said, well, that's enough, Mr. Louis. Half of us. Yeah. Who you got on the line?
What's up, my brother?
Who is that? Is that T.C. Barry Hill?
No, I think it's a KW King on the radio.
Okay. Go ahead, talk to him,
folks.
Yeah, talk to him. I can finish my story after a while.
We're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I was watching one of the commercials a while ago. Amazon is going to go net zero carbon in 5 years. I was just curious, what are we going to do about you guys distributing all this hot air?
Whoa!
Oh no, man, we in the carbon credit selling bit. We selling carbon credits.
That's right.
Yeah.
What you do is, hey, look here, you send us $300 a week, and we'll hush.
That's right. $300 a piece a week.
Yeah, a week. Yeah, $300 a piece a week, and we'll hush.
That's right.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, you got a 1993 model GMC pickup truck. Is that right?
96 with 200. I guess 95 GMC with 226,000 miles.
Look at him. You would come out cheaper to pay us $300 a week to keep shut up than you would to run that thing on the highway when these laws come into effect if Joe Biden is elected president. You understand that?
He's gonna be walking.
Well, hitchhiking. Good to hear from you, brother.
Call anytime, man. We love hearing from y'all out there. We love hearing from y'all.
You guys doing a great job.
Look at here.
I'll tell you, man.
Is he still on, Charlie? If he cut him loose. Is he gone?
He's still here.
And let me tell you something about that pickup truck, Floyd. He's on the line with us. He was one of the few people that was kind of like me, even back in those days, that still liked to drive a manual transmission with a 350 engine in it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Felt like he was doing something.
Yeah, it made you feel like the old days.
Hey, look, man, I tell you guys, y'all doing a great job. I know you got other callers, but I just want to kind of touch on about Bob Armstrong. I grew up watching the wrestling with Charlie in later years, and just want to say, look, salute to a great man, and all kidding aside, you guys doing a great job. Just want to say hello.
Thank you, brother.
Anytime. You got anybody else on there, Justin?
No, sir, not right now.
Let me finish. I'll go here with my story.
Louis Grimes.
Mr. Louis Grimes, Miss Alma Jean Grimes. They were big. They call in and tell you how much it had rained. And I'm going to tell you something about Louis Grimes. Louis Grimes lived on this side of the big drain. He lived and farmed on this side of the big drain. I lived and farmed on the other side of the big drain. The big drain was the cutoff line for the rain. If it got to Louis Grimes, if they get to Louis and they get to that big drain, then they'd quit. It would not cross over that big drain over there on me and poor Jerry Thornton. He said he accused me of being a jinx, but it would not cross that big drain over there. But Mr. Louis he'd get them good rains over there. He'd make some kind of peanuts and corn and all that good stuff over there. But he was asking me about you, and I said he doing okay. He said he sees us, on Friday night. But then I'm pushing my buggy on around, and I'm getting my other stuff in there, and I get me some meat back there, I get me some sirloin steaks, and I tell the man to kind of chop them up there, cube them up on to make me like a pot roast deal, in a crock pot, slow cooker with some potatoes and carrots. I got my buggy. Then I come on back around over and I get me a big old tub of ice cream. Homemade.
What you gonna cook with that?
I'm gonna put I got it in there, Fred. I'm gonna put me some of them Charles Pickle pecans on it and some syrup, chocolate syrup, and put some cherries on top.
Ooh,
I'm checking out.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
How long have y'all had Bluebell in Georgia? Because back in the day, in my early days on that show on Jack Wingate, y'all couldn't get Bluebell. Bluebell didn't cross over the river. And I used to bootleg Bluebell up there at Jack Wingate. And he ate it by the tub, I'm talking.
Oh, man, that's some good ice cream. We used to get seal test. Y'all remember seal test ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
I get some seal test and some Borden's ice cream, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm checking out. I'm coming in line at a checkout with my items, and I got my items all up there. And then I got the lady there. She's got my attention, and I'm getting my money out to pay her. And I'm getting my little sacks put in my buggy, and I hear somebody behind me. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
I know who that was.
Yeah, baby. I hear him back there. I hear him before I see him. There he is. He's standing back there behind me. And any of y'all that live in Miller County or surrounding counties know who I'm talking about. Yeah, baby. I said, what's going on there, Calhoun? It was none other than it was Mr. Don Skibo Hooney Calhoun. He's had about 4 or 5 names. We used to just call him Calhoun. And then somebody come along and named him Hooney. We used to call him Skibo. But anyway, Skibo Calhoun, Hooney Calhoun standing behind me. And he ain't got no boogie. He got his mask on. Oh, man, he's all masked up. He got his nose covered and everything. He's standing back there, got his cap on, glasses. And I looked down and asked, what you got? What you got there, Calhoun, to eat? Yeah, baby, I got me some of these Eskimo pies. Well, I'm looking at it, and I know it ain't right. It ain't no, because it's illegal to even say Eskimo pie anymore. You can't do that. They don't make Eskimo pie. But he had his little ice cream, them little vanilla ice cream with that chocolate on top of it, with a stick stuck in it. You know, had a little old pack, a little old cheap ice cream is what it is. See, I had my big bluebell. I had my big bluebell, my half a gallon with a natural vanilla bean ice cream. So anyway, I said, what's it? I said, that's your supper, Calhoun. That's what you gonna have for supper? Yeah, baby, this Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah, I said, why? This is wife, man. He come in there and bought us some old cheap ice cream. Old cheap, they'll fall apart before you can ever get the thing. Eat some old cheap ice creams that he gonna take home and feed to his wife. Now here I am with a buggy full of beef, sirloin steaks cubed up, carrots, potatoes, all that good stuff. Got me some of the big tub of that bluebell ice cream in there. And that Calhoun there with his little old fake Eskimo pies is what he's got. Gonna feed them to his wife. And then, but then it gets better than that. So he go up there to pay out. You know, he's behind me. And I'm still bundling my stuff up, put it in my buggy. And I hear Calhoun say, let me have 2 packs of them red Winstons there. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you bought your wife a 75-cent pack of ice cream, and you done about $12 worth of dang cigarettes. And the next question, how you going to smoke a cigarette with your mask on? But that was Calhoun. That was my 2 interactions. 2 of my good friends. Good friends. I love Calhoun. Man, I love Calhoun. We have been through some times, or seen some times. And Mr. Louis Grimes, if everybody in the world could be like Mr. Louis and Miss Alma Jean Grimes, let me tell you what you could do. You could lay down and go to sleep at night and leave your windows up and your doors unlocked. That's
Amen.
how good them folks is. That's how good folks is, man. They good folks in this world. Do not look at TV. Don't look at television and look at all that mess that's going on TV. You won't see nothing. You ain't gonna see nothing on that but ruthless people. There's ruthless people everywhere. Don't let that get in your head. Don't let that get in your mind. Y'all know one reason that the Amish folks ain't got no corona? Ain't heard nothing out of them. No outbreak on coronavirus with the Amish folks.
That was
you know why? They ain't got no TV.
That's right. I don't even watch TV. I don't even watch TV.
Man.
I can't stand that advertisement. They always advertising this little old pill. And then they on the next advertisement, they advertise a lawyer who's going to help you sue whoever made that pill. It don't make sense. You either take it medicine or sue the folks that made it. One or the two. I don't even watch it anymore. I'm so sick of them commercials. Yeah, if
you ever smoked a cigarette, you sue them folks. They got all the tobacco cup, all them sued all them. They sued the britches off of them. They still in business.
And ain't nobody held no gun to your head, made you smoke no cigarette or do nothing else. You won't take no pill or do nothing else.
And some
of the commercials they put on there is plumb X-rated.
Oh man, I tell you what, you know what? It's awful.
Don't get me started on that.
I only watch television no more. I only watch
There's some of them medicine commercials.
Let me tell y'all.
Commercials that's promoting sinful living.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
gonna give you a pill.
Let me tell you something.
Let me kill you.
Let me tell you something. You want something better to do than watch television? You see this right here?
Yep.
There you go.
That's a book from Phil Robertson called Jesus Politics. And I tell you what I do. I challenge everybody that's watching the show tonight. I think this book was $10 or $12. You buy this book and read it before you go vote. I'm done about halfway through with it, and I ain't real good at reading books. But he gives you a guide of what's wrong with the United States, and he gives you over each topic that he discusses. Right now, we're talking about guns. He just got through talking about all the different things that we are fighting for in the nation. One of the points he made was you know, when you go spend that money and you're going to vote for this person who will put you in prison over killing a whale, but it's okay to go kill a baby. You ever thought about that? That makes sense. I'm telling y'all,
it's heap worse to destroy a eagle egg.
Yeah,
Craig, eat a eagle egg. You'll spend 20 years in the penitentiary for doing that.
I've read.
But you have a little live kicking baby on the table there and say, he got to go.
The first one I read was, I even taught it in Sunday school. It was called The Theft of America's Soul. And this was the second, and this is Jesus Politics. And it's a guide to how for a Christian man and woman to go to the polls and vote. I challenge everybody that's watching tonight to buy it, read it, and tell everybody else they got it. I can't quit reading it. Ain't their picture in it. So you know it's got to be good if I'm going to keep reading it. This man right here, he's a real thing. I'm fit to tell you. He's real. And I'd rather do that than watch television. I just, there ain't nothing on there fit to watch no more. You don't see nothing. Do you remember when I was a little boy? And let me tell you, when I was a little boy, when Walter Cronkite said something, when he said that's the way it is, that's the way it was. There wasn't no slant to it. He reported the flat out natural born truth. Now, it just depends on who you watch it, to which side of the story you're going to get. And you're going to get everything but the truth.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm aggravated about the whole thing.
I watched a little bit of the news tonight. Blood pressure went up 30, 40 points. Whew. If I had been Rand Paul and his wife walking out of that thing last night, and them folks run up to me like that, I'm sorry. But there have been some fireworks other than the president's going on.
Well, it's to the point to where I don't know. I got a quote first tonight when we get ready to leave. It's gonna tell. Okay. It's gonna sum up everything we talking about. It's gonna sum it all up. But I want to ask this question before we go any further. You know, I got a little thing here I need you to ponder on. And you know, Floyd B. Lord is one of the wisest people we ever met, Charlie. You know that like I do. Floyd B. Lord, you know, he's just full of wisdom. He's full of wisdom.
Yeah.
And he was talking about all that eating a while ago. So I got a question I want to ask you. Have you ever thought about why people will go and they'll order a double cheeseburger and an extra large order of fries and a Diet Coke?
Yeah, explain that.
Why is that? Yeah.
It don't make no sense.
What's going on with that? What's up with that?
They've been brainwashed. They think drinking that Diet Coke will offset all that fat they done consumed. I don't even pretend to do that. I ain't got no diet, nothing in my house. None. Zero.
I don't like
to pretend. I ain't gonna make that up. Nope.
Can I
go ahead.
Something about, because we're getting behind here. Tony and Bonnie Lane, Lauren Shaddles, Ron Stuckey, Billy Allen, Danny Ellenberg, Nick Snellgrove is nursing his granddaddy, Mr. Charles Mercer, who had some skin cancer surgery today. We're thinking about you, Mr. Charles. I don't think he's able to think he may be gone to sleep already. Loretta Ellenberg Wilson, David Pittman, Kevin Brandon, Laura Bright, who believes and is a part of the farming community. We love her. Tony and Bonnie Lane, Cynthia Bowie, mayor down in, I believe, Webb, Alabama. Carl Smith, Wayne Woods, my gracious, Mary Fulton, Irene Conrad. This is just Daryl Stewart, old fishing buddy of mine. Ryan and Michelle. Hello, Michelle, darling. How are you? Lee Scott. We know Lee. Miss Hilda Allen over at Enterprise. And we'll get some of the rest of them at while. There's about 100 more that have logged in. Dakota Coffee folks. Miss Tanner, hope you're doing well. And we'll get to Ron McGee, all of you, a little bit later on. We appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we wish that you would hit the share button if you're watching us on one of the Facebook pages, whether it be mine, Mr. Floyd B. Lloyd's, or the Corey Thomas page, or the Dirt Road Sports page, hit share and like. We appreciate it very much. We're gonna get to more serious stuff here after a while, but I hadn't heard a good. Last week we were off, and I don't know about you, Queasel, but going through what I've been through, losing a good friend, I need a good laugh tonight. So I think we need to hear the story of Floyd Town, or either a cousin Bookie story. Bookie.
Floyd Town is out. That's off the.
Floyd Town ain't gonna happen. We'll do that. Low life coward. I'm calling you out.
But that's my business. See what you think of me is. What you think of me is not my problem. That's your problem. It ain't my problem.
But you agree with me. You are a low life coward.
Here's the thing, Charlie. It's amazing that you thought about that, because I was sitting here thinking the same thing, and it was about this time of year, if I remember right, a few years back, that Floyd got in a tight.
Yeah,
he got in a tight. Bookie done messed up there at home, and he well, I don't know how to tell it without leading into the story, but
why don't y'all let me tell a Bookie? Why don't y'all let me tell a Bookie story? How about that?
Floyd, tell the one about it that had to get into the doctor's office, over at the doctor's office.
I got one. We'll get on that doctor one too, but I got one with Bookie. Bookie got him a job not long ago. He got him a job down at the dollar store, at the Dollar General store. He working down there behind the cash register. You know, he has to stop.
Oh no!
He had to work behind the cash register, do all that. And we got a veterinarian here in Copper. Got a good veterinarian, Dr. Russ Henley. Man, he's good. I mean, he treats them dogs and cats. He's helped Queasel out, helped me out with my animals. Marvin keep him going all the time. And then we got this old boy here in Cottonwood. He prisses around. Oh man, he prisses all around the Cottonwood. He got a little dog. He got a little old dog. He prisses around in his little tight, shorty shorts, you know, and his flip flop and his mesh shirt on. Oh, he fitting all around. He got his little dog. He got a little old schnauzer dog. And that little old schnauzer dog, he got the scratching. Man, he's scratching all up on his ears and everything. He went in there to Dr. Henley and said, "Oh, my dog, my schnauzer dog, scratching it. He's just irritating his ears and he's scratching." He said, "What can I do about it?" And said that Dr. Henley said, "Well, there ain't a whole lot I can do. Said I can shave it off, but it's gonna come back and it's gonna be irritating. It's gonna be scratching all that, doing it again." And Dr. Henley said, "The only thing I know that you can do that'll work for you. The best thing, cheapest thing to do is go." And get you go down to the dollar store or the drugstore somewhere and get you some Nair hair remover and put it in his ears, and it'll take that hair off. Then he won't be scratching. So anyway, he goes down to the Dollar General store down there, and there Boogie is behind the cash register. And he goes around there, he looking at Boogie saying, "Can I hit you?" And he said, I need some Nair hair remover." Look at my head. Right over there is aisle number 5, about midway down, about eyeball level. That's where you're going to find the Nair hair remover. See, Bookie's trying to be conscientious, if you will. So anyway, and he presses down there, he presses down there. He brings his Nair hair remover back up there. He puts it up there on the counter. He said, "How much is that?" Boogie said, "Well," he said, let me I feel like I need to give you some advice on the Nair hair remover." He said, "Let me read here to you now." He said, "Now here's what it says back on the box." It said, "Do not put Nair hair remover around your eyes, so you might get the wetting. So you sweat it run all down in your eyes, and it might cause inflammation, irritation, or discomfort." And the old fellow said, it's not for my eyes. Okay, well, let me tell you some more here. I said, do not put the never move out your nose. Then because you might eat the wetting and it's on up in your nose and down in your nose, and it might cause irritation, inflammation, and discomfort. It's not for my nose. But well, let me read a little bit more now. I said right here, do right here. I said, do not put the nerve mover on your lips. And he said, it might cause irritation, inflammation, and discomfort. He said, it's not for my eyes, it's not for my nose, it's not for my lips, it's for my schnauzer. He said, schnauzer. Let me see what's it. He said, well, he said, I don't see nothing to hear about not putting it on your schnauzer. He said, but the only thing I can tell you, you better not be riding no bicycle. That's good.
That's him. You talking about those fella that wear that fishnet tank top shirt?
Yeah, that's him. He pushes around. He pushes around guy with that little old dog.
Yeah. Got him some. He wears him some white socks and put flip flops on under them white socks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's him. I know you talking about. Woo. It is. Hey, you talking about who watching a while ago. Let me tell y'all something. We got the president, CEO, CFO, and the chief pilot of Airwolf Airlines on the line again tonight. He's week. He watching. He's every week, and he's running a special this week on his flights. He got a special. He's flying you to anywhere you want to go, and he got a deal going that you can't beat. If you'll buy one ticket at the regular low price, he'll sell you the second one for the same thing. Anywhere you want to go. Don't make no difference. I don't care. You can't beat that.
That's a deal.
That's a deal right there. That is a deal. And he's one of the safest pilots I know because he can land anywhere. Mm-hmm. He better at putting it on the ground anywhere you want it at.
Catch it on first bounce.
That Airwolf can do it.
What about our sponsors? We ain't said a word about our sponsors tonight. We got we got old Lane Crop Insurance. They always with us. They the premium, one of our premier sponsors. Lane covers your crops like the dew covers Dixie. So y'all get over with old Don Lane or Brian Pickle in that Lane Crop Insurance in Cochran. Get covered on your crop insurance there. They'll see at you. They local boys. They farm boys. They know what's going on.
I'm telling you. We got another South Georgia Solutions. South Georgia Solutions. That's Michael Cunningham. And that rascal, he done got in the alarm business. He done got into the burglar alarm business and all that, the fire alarm business, and he putting in the alarm around here. And his name is South Georgia, but he go anywhere. There ain't no wall across to the Florida or to the Alabama line. But he's pretty good because I went by the U-Haul place day before yesterday, and they were 7, 8 U-Haul folks up there renting U-Haul trucks. All the crooks is moving out because they're scared that they're going to get caught with that alarm system. It don't play. It don't play. Fire alarm system. Somebody, the lady had that day lit a match in the backyard and it sent all the fire we had out there. So he has got the stuff. He got the stuff going on.
Well, I tell you what, everybody gonna need that. Y'all need to watch your grounds, y'all, and you can't be at your house all the time. It don't take them about 30 seconds they in, and about a minute in your house, about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they gone. They done cleaned you out, and they gone, buddy. So,
hey, that's a good investment.
And it ain't all that expensive. No, I mean, how much is getting your house broke into? How much is that gonna cost you? Not just the loss, but the trauma and the stress of knowing folks was in your house pilfering around in there and you didn't know nothing about it. Man, yeah, I need to check with him. I might can get a senior citizen discount.
He probably can work you up a discount. Michael Cunningham, South Georgia Solutions. That's who it is. He's from
Colquitt, ain't he?
He's from Colquitt. He get me up stuff, and we're gonna have where we can put his numbers and all on there and let everybody know how to get a hold to him. But everybody in Colquitt know who he is. He the man who would fix the telephone if it tear up. He kind of doing this on the side a little bit, got in busy with it. Here's the thing. If he tell you something, you can count on it.
Well,
you can trust it. That's the thing. That's what it's all about.
You know what? Talking about those two sponsors, let's put a plug in for all, and the definition for it is mom and pop shops, whether it be an auto repair place, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be a clothing store, no matter what the item it is, support your local merchants. I don't care if
Absolutely.
I don't care if it's on the square in Chocolate, Dothan Enterprise, Blakely, Ashford, whatever. They got some good local merchants, not chain affiliated, but just local merchants that put the name out there, been out there for years, and some new trying to make a living. And that's what this country was built off of, not the big box stores. That
You're right, Charlie.
a lot
And
of
Amazon. Man, Amazon gonna kill us all. It's gonna break us.
That again?
Yes,
To hell with Amazon.
They're gonna break us all. They're gonna put. They trying to. They want to
Well,
own us, baby. Y'all go down to, like Charlie said, go down to your local store. Man, they pay taxes.
Right.
Them folks pay real estate taxes. They pay property taxes. They pay sales taxes. They do business in town. Y'all go do business with them. We got some of the finest folks here in Concord you ever seen in your life to do business with. They're all around the square, everywhere. Whatever you need right here. You need to get your teeth fixed, go here to Concord, get them fixed. Whatever you need to get a haircut, go to Concord, get you a haircut. You ain't got to go to Dothan, or you folks in Dothan, y'all go to Dothan and get your haircut. Don't go to Tallahassee or Mobile or somewhere. Shop local.
You know,
y'all help folks out.
I done been on that other side, and everybody think because that you go to the little local store, the little family-owned business, and things are a little bit higher. They think that you're making all that money. You ain't making that money. It just costs you more because you ain't got the buying power of them big old box stores. It's hard for the little family mom and pop operation. Like, it's hard to make it. But they got to be able to depend on the folks like us. And Floyd, I know what you got right there. And when what you got right there, when that was out, it was mom and pop. That's what it was.
I'm gonna read something. Can I read something to him here?
Read it.
I like to go back in these old Liberal, Miller County Liberal. This is from Concord, Georgia, Miller County Liberal, and that was our newspaper. Got a story here from Jack Wingate, fishing forecast from Jack.
Oh,
Wingate.
no, not Uncle Jack.
Yeah, he was talking about it here about, now Jack kind of talked like I talk. He said, I expect for long, if the truckers don't quit playing around, there's going to be cowboys, chicken boys, and hog boys on motorbikes. Hit them up and move them out. I can hear the old chicken poke now saying, put that old Rhode Island Red rooster on the point and keep him moving. Now, you got to understand what he was talking about. Right. See, that's the way he talked. That's the way he communicated. And he talked in a language that them folks north of Macon can't get.
What year was that? What year was
1974. 1974. Let me read something here to you. 1974. This is Miller County expenditures. Miller County expenditures from February of 1974. This is the county of Miller County. This is what they spent money on. I want y'all to listen to this now. I want y'all to tune in and listen to this. 1974. And all you millennials, I know y'all ain't got a clue what 1974 was even about, but your mama, the way your grandmama and granddaddy know. All right, here we go right here. Our tax commissioner. We had a tax commissioner, took in all the tax money. His name was Mr. Peyton Keaton, P.H. Keaton. His salary for the month of February of $447. $447. I ain't got no clue what the tax commissioner make now. Probably $80 or $90 or $100,000 a year.
At least.
He done it. He done it for $447 a month. All right, let's look at one right here. This is Miss Minnie Cobb. She was the clerk of the court. $164.
A month?
For a month. And let me tell you what, Miss Minnie's husband, Mr. Rip Cobb, they raised two big old boys, old Buddy Cobb and James Hewitt Cobb. They raised them, and he was the tax commissioner forever. And when he died, Miss Minnie became the tax commissioner. I just want to read y'all some more of this stuff in here. It's interesting. It might not be interesting to y'all out there. If it ain't interesting, go watch something else. But it's interesting to me. Let me tell you what. Here's Dr. James Merritt. Let's see what Dr. James Merritt. Oh no, here's one right here. Let me read this one to you right here. This is the one I was looking at. Walter Hayes. Listen to this one. Listen to this one. Listen to this one, Queasel. This is you'll this will hit a nerve here with you. Walter Hayes, county attorney. Attorney. You know what the county paid him in February of 1974? Let me read it to you right here.
Man, I was 14 years old. I didn't care back then what they paid him.
$94.15. That's what they paid him for the whole month. A lawyer. Have you ever seen a lawyer? What a lawyer cost you now? What, $400, $500 an hour? They paid him for the month. That's just to
answer the phone.
Yeah, that's just for him to answer the phone. It's for him to do no business. Yeah, Walter Hayes, county attorney. Ain't that something? $94.15. Let me read you another here, please. Let me read you one on down here. Miller County, just some more expenditures. This is right on down here, close to the bottom line. This is number 3 up from the bottom down here, if you will. Joy Tully Service Station.
Come on. Here we go. How much do they feel?
Joy Tully Service Station. Now, y'all out there who ain't got a clue who we are, Joy Tully was Queasel's daddy, who run a service station forever, and Queasel's granddaddy run one when Noah let him off the ark. He started running a service station.
That's right.
All right, here it is. Joy Tully Service Station. Listen to this. Gas, oil, and tire repair for the month.
Right.
$13.31. Ooh. Let's compare that to now. To now. How much does a county commissioner? Let me throw this one out here on you, Charlie. I'm gonna let you relate to this one. County commissioner, Mr. Cliff Griffin, he was one of our county commissioners. Mr. A. Bud Miller, county commissioner. Martine Phillips, Glenn Whitaker, Marvin Wells, and B.O. Mark, they were county commissioners. You know what they got paid for the whole month to be a county commissioner? $47.07. That's what they made. $47.07. What does a county commissioner make in Houston County, Alabama now, Charlie?
What do they make or what do they steal?
What did they make? What's their salary?
What's their salary?
Oh, man, it's like $30,000 a year. Plus, they get so much a month for a car to go out and visit their constituents. I think that's right. And then they get expense money, and it's, they meet a few hours a month. That ain't a bad job.
I'm telling you.
It ain't no job at all, really, if you get down to it. But yet, when it comes time to run, won't nobody run against nobody.
Scared of.
But yeah, everybody's scared of Mark Culver over here. He's the chairman of the commission.
Y'all listen here. One more. Listen to this one over here. Georgia Power Company. This is for the lights. This is for power. All right, for the courthouse. For the whole courthouse, Georgia Power, $98.46. All right, let me hear. This is down here at the Ag Center down there. $79.22. The power bill at the jail was $49.53. Guess what they did not have in the jail in 1974 in the cells back there?
That would have been air conditioning.
Yeah. So you ought not to have broken the law and had your butt locked up, and you wouldn't be in here. You'd be home with your windows up. You wouldn't have no air conditioning, but you'd be home with your windows up with the breeze blowing through. But that's what it was. That's what the light bill was, man. Ain't so much. This is a history book right here.
You knew some of that from the time on getting your hair cut, right?
That's right. Exactly right. See, it was $18.75 just for a fine.
It made no difference.
Just for having long hair, $18.75.
It didn't make no difference. It was speeding or murder. It was $18.75.
Yeah, $18.75, man. They got to have but 3 folks, 3 fines, and they didn't pay the light bill for the jail.
Yeah, and they rather have cash.
They rather have cash. They don't want no check.
Here's a comment from the audience. Says, I know judges that spend $4 on drinks at lunch.
Oh, how much are you
Y'all
breaking
hear
up
that?
on, Charlie? What'd you say?
Yeah, Charlie, I think you the one. I think you don't went to drinking. You stretching them words out pretty long.
He said,
Say it
no.
again.
Says,
Read.
I know judges that spend $94 on drinks at lunch.
Yeah, that's alcoholic drinks. That's them martinis. That's them martinis. And them Rob Roys that they drank.
That what?
That's a Scotch martini, Queasel, in case you wonder. When Rob Roy asked
Ask
James
yourself.
C. Buddy J. Johnson Jr. one time about what it Rob Roy with me and Scott Shelton.
Okay.
He wasn't calling him Rob Roy. He would call him Roy Rogers is what he would call him.
Y'all had James C. Buddy J. Johnson with y'all.
James C. Buddy, we was in Macon, Georgia. We was in Macon, Georgia up there at the theater up there where Otis Redding used to play all the time. We doing a small gravy show. We're doing one in the evening, then do one at night. And we done the evening show, the matinee, what they call it. Me and Scott said, let's walk up down the street down there. So we might find somewhere we can get us a cold soda water there. And James A. Buddy J. said, I go with y'all. Yeah. So come on, James A. Come on, let's go. Come on, go with us. We went out there, walked down the street down there a little way, and we seen a little place there. Had a let me just wait a minute. Had a coping wrapped around it like that. We had to go downstairs down there. Me and Scott knows what it was, you know. So we went on down there, man. It was cool, dark down in there. They had liquor lined up all across the whole one wall in there, you know. Oh yeah. He said, what were y'all? We had our swamp gravy suits on there. I looked like I don't know what. But anyway, James C. Buddy J. Johnson, he was kind of decked out, he always neat, you know, kind of. But me and Scott Shelton, we looked like I don't know what we looked like, but anyway, he said, "Can I help y'all?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What you want?" I said, I think I'll have a Rob Roy. And Scott said, "Yeah, bring me one too." He said, "What you want? What kind of liquor you want in that Rob Roy?" I said, "Johnny Walker Red." Scott said, "I have the same thing." Buddy J said, "I have what they have it." I said, "You sure? You sure?" Yeah. So we sat there talking, you know, having a good time. Just, you know, so just moderation, you know, ain't no big deal. But we were 21, they're having a good time though. And man, come back around. I said, y'all need, yeah, I have another one of them Roy Rogers. Okay. But anyway, excuse me, Buddy J, I had to tell that. That was years ago. Buddy J's done changed now. He's a changed man. He is,
yeah.
But anyway, we had a good time. Ain't no harm done. It was all in moderation, all in fun. Hey, it was about a relationship. You know, we had a good time. We was enjoying ourselves. Right. We didn't hurt nobody. Big deal. Who you got on the phone?
Hello.
Who you got on the phone, Judy? All right, go ahead.
Hey,
hello.
George Williams.
Oh, that's the Peachtree City professor right there.
George
Peachtree.
The Peachtree City professor. That's him right there.
Yeah. Ask Billy about the trip to Washington, D.C. and taking the chicken into the Kennedy Art Center.
That's George Williams from Carwood, Georgia. He moved up there to Peachtree City. Now he lived his whole life. He's an old Carwood, Georgia boy. He's a good guy. Married Melanie, married good old gal. We know that. We was all in Swamp Gravy, and we had my wife was the head of Swamp Gravy at that time, and she'd send us anywhere. I mean, she wasn't scared. She'd put us on an airplane. Now if there was somewhere we could go, we would go, and she would find somewhere for us to go. And she said, she said, "We going to Washington, D.C." Come in telling the cast that. Washington, she said, "Yes, we are going to perform at the Kennedy Center." And we did. We performed We at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., Swamp Gravy performed there. George and Mel, me and Karen and all that, we rode on the airplane, rode up there. Some of them rode on the bus, rode up there. But we all got up there in Washington, D.C. and had us a big old motel, had a big, long row of rooms and all in there. We stayed up there about 2 or 3 days. Anyway, we had a fella in the cast. He's sort of eclectic, if you will. His name was Mr. Steve Cross. And Steve was a great guy, man. He'd help us do anything. But he drove a U-Haul van. See, we had to have all these props and all these costumes and all this stuff. But we going to the Kennedy Center, man. You can't go up there half-stepping. You got to be right. So we had all these quilts made, handmade quilts. We had them for our backdrop in there. Everything. Man, it was awesome. We was in Washington, D.C. from Colquitt, Georgia, on the stage at the Kennedy Center. Cross, he's driving the U-Haul truck. One of them old big trucks, ton and a half truck. He was driving it, enclosed body and everything. In the back of that truck, he had all them props. He had all them quilts, them costumes, all them peanut sacks and barrels and boxes and all that stuff. And he had a Harley Davidson motorcycle in there and a live chicken in there. Going to the Kennedy Center. So anyway, and the reason he had the live chicken in there, but he had that dang Harley Davidson motorcycle in there. But the reason we were going to he was taking the chicken to the Kennedy Center. We had a act. We had a story. It wasn't an act. It was a story in there. Had a live chicken in it. And then what happened, that woman, it was in a chicken wire cage, a little 3x3 or whatever, chicken wire cage. And what would happen, they have a chicken up there, and this woman, she come up there, and she stopped, and she had an apron and all on. She was one of the Swamp Gravy players. And she stood up there, and she had a hatchet in her hand. This woman that telling the story had a hatchet in her hand and a chicken in a cage down there. Now, automatically, if you got any sense at all, man, them wheels is turning in your brain. So she said, man, she got that hatchet and she said, she said, we used to have so much fun back when I was young. Said we said they wasn't any grass that was growing in the yard. Said we didn't have no lawnmower. Said we just hoed it up. And we'd go and we'd pick peanuts and we'd pick corn and we'd pick cotton and we'd put up peas and butter beans. So we just had a lot of fun, and she going on like that. And while she's doing her spiel, doing her talking, she puts that hatchet down on a stump. She has a stump there. And she lays that hatchet down on that stump and she reaches in that little wire cage and she pulls that live chicken out of there. Ooh. And she got that chicken up on her arm and then she reaches down and she gets that hatchet in her hand like that. And we just had so much fun. She's waving that hatchet around her and she like Tonto waving that hatchet around everywhere. We had so much fun. And she lays that chicken down on that chopping block. Sideways with his head hanging over like that right there. And she raises that hatchet up like that and she laughs, she said, she said, we had a lot of fun, but it just ain't fun like you have now. And boy, to hold the cat, But is that the one, George? Is that what you want to tell about? And the man that brought the chicken up there was a very colorful character. He had got a sawmill here in Georgia, in Colquitt, Georgia. Cuts all this extravagant wood, man. He does all kind of tables. He made a table. Him and Jimmy Carter made some table, and they sold it at some auction. I don't know what their thing brought out $100,000 or $200,000 something all for charity, but he made the table. Steve Cross, Colquitt, Georgia. He's from here. We love him, man. He's great. Is that in Georgia? There's something else you want to talk about?
I think, didn't y'all have some problem getting in the hotel or getting in somewhere with the chicken?
Well, now Cross was trying to get in. He was trying to get in a nightclub.
It was cold.
He had his overalls on. He had one of them Khrushchev looking, Russian looking hats on, and they wouldn't let him in. He got locked out. They wouldn't let him in. He was in a trap.
I thought I remember y'all telling me something about you having trouble getting in the hotel or getting into the Kennedy or somewhere with the live chicken.
With the live chicken,
chicken.
Yeah. Well, he had to explain to him that, hey, he's part of the act. This chicken's part of the act. We got him in there. We got him in there and done the show. with the live chicken. But man, we have seen some, and Georgia, man, old Georgia Mail, they was a big asset to us in Swamp Gravy. We had so much fun with that. That's another one of them deals with them relationships. See, you got to open yourself up to relationships, with friendships with people. There were so many people in Swamp Gravy. We probably had 100 in Swamp Gravy at the time that we were cooking. We were rocking and rolling, I'm talking about.
That's right.
In Cotton Hall. We had probably had 100 cast members in there. And it's still going. It's still going. Swamp Gravy is still one of the greatest things that ever happened in Miller County, Georgia. And it wasn't nothing, it was tenacity with a few folks. Tenacity. And my wife being one of them, Miss George Inks being one of them. Tenacity. And we had so many other people. I'm not going to name names because if I do, I'll miss somebody. I'll leave somebody out. I was a small part of it, and I'm thankful that I was a part of it. It done a lot for me. It meant a lot of people. That
was one of them cases where you always said we can, and everybody else said you can't.
Yeah.
We
didn't know we couldn't do it. We didn't know we couldn't do it. We world famous, man. I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest things that ever happened. One of the greatest things that ever happened in this country. There was a little boy. Let me tell you one story. Now I'm gonna hush because we're about to run out of time. They revived. I played a preacher. I played old one of these old Southern Baptist preachers. I mean, he burned down. You know, bah. So I played that preacher. They recalled it back. They called it back, and it was later on, and we was kind of sitting around a little rehearsal table there, and some kids were in there. So we had kids that were playing in some of the scenes around there with me, with the preacher. And our director, Jerry Stropnicki, he's from up there around Wisconsin or somewhere. He come down here, and he said, "Okay," he said, "Billy, why don't you?" And the kids, some of the kids are sitting around there, man. He said, "Billy, said, why don't you kind of show them how it's going to be?" And man, I went into that spiel with that old preacher, man. I was wild sweating. Wow, man, I was burned down on the gospel I'm talking about. And one little boy, hey, look, he said, he said, Jerry said, whoa, wait a minute, Billy. Wait a minute. He asked the little boy, he said, do you need to take a break? He said, yeah, I need to take a break. I scared the young to death. Didn't mean to just scared, just being in the scene. I was being the person. And that little old kid, he went on, he graduated, he was our valedictorian, I think, last year or year before last, but he went on through high school. He went in Swamp Gravy. I don't know if he's still in Swamp Gravy or not, but it probably helped him in his life. I don't know if it changed his life, but it helped him in his life. And I saw his mama not long ago in the grocery store, and I asked her, I said, does your son remember me? She said, yes, he does. He remembers you. That's a good thing.
Sound like you were about bearing down like Pencil Johnson.
I was bearing down like Pencil Johnson, man. They were found the mountain height. Come down off of that mountain. Oh, that scared me too, man. If I was a 10-year-old youngin', that scared me to death. Some old crazy man up there doing all that. But anyway, Swamp Gravy is a wonderful thing. Thank you, George, for calling, man. I appreciate that. You're bringing back a whole bunch of old fond memories on me there.
We are running short on time. I want to say this on my part of closing. Thanks to everybody who is remembering in a fond way my good friend, Mr. Bob Armstrong, Joseph James, a legacy that the boys will have to carry on. Pray for Brian's family, for Scott and his family, for Steve and his family, and for our extended family in the wrestling industry, because we have lost a true friend and a true hero. Now, I know hero word gets thrown around like he's an icon, he's a hero, he's a this, he's a that. But folks, when he left this world last night going to a better place, that 80-year-old was truly an icon and a hero to a lot of. And number one in the book, he was a good friend. Pray for his family. Pray for those who have family members that are suffering from the virus. There are many of those out there that we need to think about tonight. Billy needs to wear that mask over the nose, because Meemaw, governor over here, said if you don't put it over your nose, it ain't no good. And Meemaw said she don't like to wear it either, because Meemaw says She can't talk with it on. She can't breathe with it on. And she can't hear nobody with it on, which I'm there with me all myself. But let's be safe because there's a lot of cases out of going around. God bless y'all for what you do. And that is tuning to us to hear our foolishness, if you want to call it that or whatever. We love each and every one of you. Appreciate you sharing it with other people on Facebook. Let folks know we're on, and we're here for you. And we'll do.
Well, I wanna just take what you said just a little bit to the Armstrong family. I just want everybody to know what they meant to us. The one thing that you had to say about them, they was all famous. And of course, Bullitt was the most famous, but they was all famous. But it was never one time about them. They never come over here and help. It was always about somebody else. It was always about what they could do to help us. And they were just real people. And we developed a friendship with them. Like Floyd was talking about earlier, we had a relationship with them and their wives. And it was just a good time that we had. They helped us when we couldn't help ourselves, and we won't ever forget that. So I'm sad that the Bullitt's gone, but I know he's in a better place. And with that being said, our nation. I worry about our nation. I pray for our nation every day. I'm scared of what's happening. I'm scared of what could happen. But I love quotes, and I'm gonna borrow a quote from Tony Evans, one of the best preachers I ever heard. I've heard him preach 2 or 3 times at Promise Keepers events back when they used to have them. I'd go and if we saw Tony Evans' name on the list of preachers, we tried to go because he told it like it was. He had a quote the other day that I'm gonna say this, and this is my closing part, and Floyd, we'll let you take us on out, but. Here's what Tony said. He said, when one nation under God becomes one nation apart from God, expect the consequences.
Amen. Consequences are a hard thing to accept sometimes, but always everything that you do in your life, whatever act it is, whatever deed it is, whatever word you say, is going to be a consequence, and it's either going to be good or bad. It's either going to be something going to happen good as a result of what you've done, or something is going to happen bad as a result of what you've done. Always think about what you do. Always think about how you treat other people, how you want to be treated, how you treat other people, and always don't ever judge anybody just by looking at them, because they got a heart. Some of them don't act like they do, but they got a heart. They got feelings too. So just kind of guide yourself, kind of walk, get up every morning and ask the good Lord to give you wisdom in dealing with people and treat everybody if you can, if they will allow you, treat everybody just like they're your best friend. God bless y'all. We love y'all. We're going to be back with y'all next Friday night. Hopefully. We're going to try to be. Go ahead, John.
Yep.
Let's say a very special thank you and God bless Judson Thomas. Juddy.
Amen. Thank you, Juddy.
Juddy, if it wasn't for Juddy, we couldn't do it.
No, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Juddy.
Juddy is our man. He didn't have a date tonight, so he canceled his date to do this, I think. But anyway, Juddy, we love you. We appreciate what you do for us, and that's what keeps us going and keeps us on. He punches the button. It's his studio. We appreciate you, buddy. God bless every one of you. We hope you have a great weekend and a great week next week. Forward to seeing you next Friday night.
See y'all.
Hey, y'all remember that, man?